I get a phone call by my watch commander, says, "Hey, your days off are canceled. Get to work right now. There's uh, there's riots in different parts of the city. Buildings are burning. There's looting, and all days off are canceled." So they told me, "Come on in. You're working 16 on and 8 off, 16 on, 8 off for 2 weeks until we quell this riot." It was bad. So my wife told me, she says, "Hey, just go straight to the freeway, jump on the freeway, because right there down the street where the arrest took place, there's a lot of unrest. There seems to be protesting and maybe a riot. So jump straight down the freeway and go straight to your precinct in East LA, which is about 20 minutes away, and don't drive down the surface streets." Well, did I listen? No. Well, as I'm going down, as I'm
And this
going
is,
down,
this is before, sorry to interrupt, but this is before social media. We couldn't just pull up our phones and find exactly what's always
no
going
cell
on.
phone,
You had TV and that was it.
no cell phones. I had no
Yep.
communication. I had no police radio. Remember, I'm off duty. I'm driving to work. So what I did, I don't know why I did this, but I did something that almost cost me my life. I put on my my deputy sheriff uniform, and I just covered it with an LA windbreaker. That's all I had. So I told my wife, "Yeah, I'm going to jump on the freeway and go to work." Instead, I go down Foothill Boulevard towards Osborne Street, south on Foothill. And all of a sudden, I said, "Uh-oh, it's like I'm in a car wash. I'm going about 1 or 2 miles an hour." Now, I'm looking ahead about 2, 3 blocks, and I'm saying, "Oh, no, this isn't good." I could see about 100 to 150 young black gang members that were wielding baseball bats. They had bricks. They had rocks in their hand, huge rocks and pipes. And I could see that they're stopping all the cars on Foothill Boulevard. It's like they're blocking access. And it's like, the way police departments, we have like drunk driving checkpoints on the weekend. They had a gang member checkpoint. Okay. And they're looking inside each of the car. And I'll be honest with you, Taylor, they were racially profiling. If the driver wasn't black, they would break all the windows of the car. Other gang members would jump on the hood of the car, on the roof of the car, and once the windows were broken, these guys, these young criminals, they would punch the driver in their face with a rock in their hand as you sat there immobile and helpless. And these thugs didn't care how young or old the occupants of the car were. They were just shouting racial slurs. They were angry. And boy, oh boy, they were just using this as an opportunity to just work out their disordered passions,
Mm.
So I'm seeing all this, and I'm saying, why didn't I listen to Anita? Okay, so there's about 10 cars in front of me. I said, okay, I'll just put it in reverse. Now there's about 20 cars behind me. We're all stuck. The cars to my right, they're also going like 1 mile an hour, so I couldn't veer off to the right. The cars to my left are also stuck. They created a traffic jam. They're doing the same thing to every car. They look inside, they racially profile. Then if you weren't black, they'd wrap around your car with baseball bats, break your windows, jump on the roof of your car, smash it and cave it in, jump on the hood, cave it in, break your window, and then they'd hit you in the face with a brick. So I'm saying, if they smash my window and I get hit with 100 shards of glass, and they smash my window on this side, and my windbreaker, my flimsy LA Dodger windbreaker flies open, and they see a big star here, guess what's going to happen? They're going to physically pull me out of the car, and they're going to stomp me and kick me to death. Okay? My wife's going to get a phone call, say, "Come and pick up your husband at the coroner's office. He's a tortilla. He's a pancake." Now, I'm saying, why didn't I listen to my wife and jump on the freeway? And, and I'm looking at these young guys. I'm saying, these guys are all a bunch of unconverted guys. They don't know Jesus.
Yep.
And as a result of that, they're following the perverse passions of their heart. Their passions are wild. They're under the influence of anger, probably drugs. But then at the same time, the police side of me, the fighter side of me, I'm saying, you know what? Psalm 139 says that God knows the number of my days. I'm not going to stand here and get beat to death. I said, I've been trained to protect myself and protect others. And at this point, I started getting kind of an adrenaline rush. It's like it's in a locker room before you're about to compete in a contact sport. You got that adrenaline rush, and I'm already putting myself in the zone because I'm realizing, man, this is gonna get ugly. This is awful. But at the same time, Taylor, I'm saying I can sense the presence of evil, not just these young thugs. I'm talking about evil spirits in this corner. And at that moment, I grabbed my rosary. And I started praying my rosary from the heart, as St. Teresa of Lisieux says, pray it from the heart. And then at the same time, I did grab my service revolver. I said, you know what, faith and reason, it's like 2 weeks of a dove,
As it says in the Psalms, make my fingers ready for war.
Yeah, Lord, prepare my hands for battle, my fingers for war. Psalm 144, verse 1. So I grabbed my gun. It had 16 rounds in there. I had 5 clips with 15 rounds and a box of 100 rounds. So I said, I'm already playing it out in my mind, but I'm praying the rosary. Hail Mary, full of grace. I'm praying, but in my mind, I'm going into combat. And what I'm saying, because I'm watching what these guys do. They're not changing their tune. I'm saying, okay, as soon as this guy comes up to me and cocks back to break my front window, and I'm going to get hit with 100 pieces of glass, I'm going to have to stop him. I'm going to have to shoot him and stop him. And then as they try to break my window around the car, I'm going to have to systematically stop them. And I'm going to have to provide cover fire so that I can get out of this deadly situation. And I turn on the radio. Remember, no cell phones, Taylor. I'm on my way to work, so I don't have my police radio. And then I hear on the radio, the local station says, there's no policemen on the street of Lakeview Terrace. All the policemen have been called back to the patrol station because the patrol station is being shot at by gang members. And so my wife had told me later on, she said that they showed a picture of Foothill Division. They had sandbags around the station, and they had all the officers behind the sandbags with AR-15s and shotguns, and gang members were driving by and shooting at the police station. There's no cops on the street. So I'm saying, I'm in this assembly line, this beat down car wash. It is the most horrible situation to be in. Okay.
I mean, real quick, again, sorry to interrupt, but are you seeing like people getting beat down and like,
oh yeah.
And are they stopping the car? I mean, if you get hit in the face, that car's not going to move on. They're going to just stay there.
No, what they would do after they would give you the beat down, they would open up like this human wave of people. They would wave the car to go. The person would half-heartedly just drive. I mean, really beat up and hurt. And then they would close the wall of about 150 gang members, and then they would start the next one.
Okay.
All those people, by the way, I ended up finding out later, they ended up driving themselves straight to the emergency, to the local hospital emergency. That day, they got about 200 drive-ins from that corner where I was at. They just drove themselves to the emergency because people were beat up very badly. So here I am. I'm moving 1-2 miles an hour, and I'm seeing that I'm stuck. I can't go to the right, can't go to the left, can't go behind. And I'm saying, Lord, I said, help me. And so as I'm praying the rosary, I'm remembering that God could blind people. So I'm asking, like, Our Lady, blind them, through God's permissive will. And it reminds me now, in fact, there's a prayer now years later that I've seen. They're called the Exilium Christianorum prayers, where we ask Our Lady to blind demons. And so it's funny. This is in 1991. I'm already asking her in my prayer, blind them, blind them. And so as I pull up, I'm one car in front of the checkpoint, and as I pull up, they wrap around the car, and Sarah here says, here it goes. I have my rosary 11 o'clock. I have my 9mm 5 o'clock, and I'm ready. The safety's off, and I'm playing everything out in my mind because I'm saying, I can't die. I can't die. I said, the Catechism talks about in 2263 the doctrine of self-defense.
Yes.
That we're allowed to use the proportionate force necessary to stop the attack of an unjust aggressor. So I'm saying, look, here's what's going to happen. If I do nothing, if I do absolutely nothing, so to speak, and just, be a pacifist, they're going to break my windows, smash my window. My windbreaker is going to open up in all this commotion. They're going to see my badge. They're going to pull me out of the car. They're going to stomp me to death. Okay? My wife is going to get a phone call. Your husband has been kicked to death. Do you recognize his body? Come to the coroner's office. What a horrible thing to do. I said, That ain't happening. That's not an option.
Not today.
The second thing is, as they raise their bats and I assess the threat, I'm going to drop them, and I'm ready, and I know how to do it, and I'm quick with a gun, and I know how to load real fast. But then I'm also saying, here's what the Los Angeles Times is going to say. Here's what the Left Angeles Times is going to say the next day. Yeah. They're going to say this: off-duty deputy sheriff slaughters
a
dozen young black men on their way to go play basketball or something. Yeah. They're going to destroy me. I know that, Taylor. I already know it. So I'm saying I'm going to go to prison for the rest of my life, maybe on death row. The press is going to demonize me. But you know what? At least I'll be alive. At least, I'll be alive to pray another day, so to speak. So there I am on the next one in line. They wrap around me. Again, it's a protocol they already have. The guy in front, he's like the leader. He cocks his baseball bat back. He picks up his left leg just like he's gonna hit a ball, and he's about to come down. And I'm praying, Hail Mary, full of grace. And all of a sudden, I'm saying, here it goes. Here goes nothing. So I raise. All of a sudden, he says, stop. Hey, leave him alone. He's cool. Leave the brother alone. He's cool. Leave the brother alone. I'm saying, cool. Leave the brother alone. He waves at all the guys. They open up the wall and he goes, leave the brother alone. He's cool. They let me go. I punch it right through. I look behind me. They close the wall and the beatings continue. What happened? Why did they let me go? And 200 people were viciously attacked in that corner and drove themselves straight to the hospital emergency ward, and not me. Taylor, I believe that through Our Lady's intercession, by God's divine permission, in the seat of my car for 2 or 3 minutes, I looked black. That's what they saw. They saw a black guy in the car. That's what he said. He said, let him go. The brother's cool. In some way, shape, or form, Our Lady, through our Lord's permission, morphed me, changed my features, and they let me go. Taylor, I have no other, this has been since 1991, I've thought about it, because everybody there that was not black got the beat down, including Mexicans. And I'm looking at everybody in front of me. I'm thinking maybe I'll get a pass because I'm Mexican. No, Taylor, the people in front of me, Asian, Mexican, Caucasian, they were getting beat down. So no, I didn't get a pass. So the only thing I could tell people is the Blessed Virgin Mary, she interceded. She heard the cry from my heart, and I'm alive today to talk about this and other stories that I'll share, because Mary has demonstrated to me that she's my mother, just like she told Saint Juan Diego, am I not your mother? This stuff just doesn't happen in the Bible. This stuff is happening every day. Our Lord and Our Lady are interceding and intervening, should I say, in people's lives, and they're doing things that we just kind of like dismiss as, oh, that was luck. No, it wasn't luck. That was the direct hand of God, or I'd be Jesse the Tortilla 7 feet under right now.